Yo guys, welcome back to the Touchliner Podcast, episode 23. My host, once again, is not here, but we've got the substitute who's actually even better. He's better than the
Way
player
better.
that starts. Ben's
Much.
back. He's back. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm here to spit some truth for once on this podcast. I feel like a lot of bad takes come out when on. So I'm just here to deliver some factual information for once and some reasonable opinions.
Good. We do need them. We do need them around here. You know.
Not to name names or anything, but you know, name rhymes with Hussein. So
It's so funny because when you're not here, he's just like chatting the most about you, and he's just like, I don't want to wander again.
it's fine because we've all seen over the course of 22 podcasts, we've all seen who has been more accurate in predictions, and it's been me. So I'm just gonna leave that out there.
Yeah, you know what? We'll start talking about the results just a little bit. We'll go over them. So one of the things that me and you both said is Harry Kane he's a good striker. He's one of the best in the world. Now
Oh yes, we have been saying
we
this.
have
Yes,
we have someone's been disagreeing with us. I won't name names, but
no.
someone's been
I think it's
disagreeing.
Hussein. It rhymes with Hussein or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think so. But his team Tottenham have beaten the Premier League champions, I believe. Didn't concede either. So
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
It's interesting because I think if you were describing a low level striker who like never really scores in important situations, important games, you would think that, it wouldn't be Harry Kane because he's a fucking good striker. He's probably the best striker, all round striker in the Premier League. Erling Haaland, one thing I wanted to say was, what would happen if Erling Haaland went to like another team that played around him, like who play around a striker rather than having like that City team that have like so many different attacking options, but they have to, instead of focusing it on specifically on Erling Haaland. Imagine
Yeah.
Erling Haaland with Burnley, where they have a big striker in the middle and they rely on like a Chris Wood.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the thing though. Like he's joined this team now where they've all had to adapt, and they're
Yeah.
struggling to adapt. And they looked better last season when they didn't have a focal point. Because that was the thing about City is if you're like, oh, let's go Mark Foden, and Mahrez is free. All right, let's go Mark Mahrez. All right, De Bruyne is free. Mark De Bruyne, and then whoever Jesus or Sterling or whoever's up front is free. Like it's you can't predict it now. It's just all right, Haaland, stop him.
But the thing
Look
is,
at that.
that's what everyone was saying before the before the transfer window, after they lost the Champions League again. It was like, oh, if they get a striker, like a good top level striker, they're gonna win the Champions League. But like, I don't know if they are gonna win the Champions League
I
because
think they do. I think they win the Champions League.
well, I think Napoli beat them. To be honest, I just don't think that like that focal point of having one player that revolves around your whole team like works, especially against the best clubs in Europe.
Yeah, the thing about City, right, is like, yeah, their attack, they still score. It's their defense. How are you letting Tottenham get through? They didn't just get through once. Like, there were a couple of opportunities, but City still had more opportunities, but they couldn't make it count. So that's the thing with Haaland. Haaland hasn't scored in two big games already in the last month. He didn't score against
And
us.
Tottenham
He didn't score
stink.
against
Let's
Spurs.
not get it wrong. Tottenham do stink really badly. They smell so bad.
It's so weird though. Like they beat City. Like someone tweeted out before, like a week or two ago, like, oh, it would be so Tottenham. No, this was a month ago. It would be so Tottenham for them to lose to Villa and then
Yeah.
beat City, and it
Yeah.
happened.
I saw a TikTok as well where it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham beat City at home, and they went on and did that, which is like, what's the problem at City? Is it the coaching, or is it because it's not like their defenders are bad. Like
Mm.
they have good level defenders. So what is the actual problem? Is it the system? Is it the defenders? Is it the management? Is it what?
That's the thing though. Like it's a lot of things. There are rumors coming out. I don't know how reputable there are, but like there's some unrest in the dressing room. I mean, Cancelo left obviously because he had an argument with Pep right at the end of the transfer window.
Is
He,
that confirmed? It was an argument.
yes, he didn't. It was a disagreement, but Pep was it. Cancelo was like, "That's not the reason. I wanted game time." Obviously, he's gonna say that there was a disagreement on game time. I think Cancelo wasn't starting all the games and he wanted to, and
Right.
he's like, all right, I'm gonna leave and get that, and he's getting it at Bayern. So fair play to him. Fair play to him. But it's I don't know if more players feel this way because Pep does not have an 11. He rotates so much. It'll get to
Yeah.
like Bernardo Silva's leaving in the summer. He's sick of this. He as a player, as a world class player, which Bernardo Silva is, you want to be starting every week. Can you imagine if like any other team did that? If like United did that with like Fernandes, like, oh yeah, no, we don't want to play you next week just because we've got
Yeah.
I don't know whoever on the bench. It's a
McTominay.
yeah, McTominay. But like you've got but they have class players on the bench. But that's the issue. Everyone's been saying this. They have 22 world class players. Where is
Yeah.
the unrest?
Who do you start? Yeah.
So it's finally happening. They're capitulating, and we will move on to something else that's ruining the club. Something that's come out about their financial fair play. We'll
Very
move on
big.
to
An exclusive today.
yes, Touchliner exclusive. You're all welcome. I got it from the dressing room, and Ben also. Someone told him. Someone called him and told him.
Pep called me actually.
That's
Pep
true.
called.
It's true. I know this is true. But before we move on to that, we'll talk about a few more games. We'll talk about Liverpool losing 3-0 to Wolves.
Interesting.
What is going on? What is going on?
I like the thing. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but the reaction of Gary Neville when they're talking about Liverpool's owners, and like Jamie Carragher's like, Liverpool don't need no new owners, and then like Gary Neville like, I think at this point, the main thing for me is to get Klopp out. I think Klopp needs to go.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's done. How long has he been at Liverpool now? What, 5 years, 6 years?
I think it'll be 8 years now, or
8 years?
7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Jeez, time flies, man. But that's a long time for a manager. Like managers do not last that long, even with success. And I saw Pep said one thing. He was like, "Do you ever see like a team go and stay exactly the same over multiple years and keep succeeding?" And he was like, "No, it doesn't work. It never happens. Some things have to change. Whether it's the managers, the players, something has to change." The fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold still starts blows my mind. This guy sucks. He smells terrible. I can smell him from Newcastle. He's that bad.
No,
Like,
you're right. You are right though. They've needed to rotate for years. When they decided to sell Wijnaldum, that's already you need a replacement. And then they got Thiago, who's nothing like Wijnaldum. I don't know what that transfer was about. But they need
yeah, you usually go player for player when you like you or style for style when you're buying a new player to replace somebody. Honestly, Wijnaldum had so much ability, and like I think he's better than Thiago, in my opinion.
what?
You don't
In terms of what? In terms of what?
Well, just look at like remember when Wijnaldum scored in that Barcelona game,
Yes.
and like that was the most crucial point of the game. He came in clutch for Liverpool. He came in clutch for Newcastle, but then they went and bought Thiago, who like doesn't have like
he's good
not
on the
same
ball.
player. He's completely different.
Yeah. No, I think as an action box to box midfielder, of course, Wijnaldum's better. Thiago's more of like a elegant midfielder. You know, he needs time on the ball. He's gonna pick out this 30-yard pass and he'll touch the ball down nicely. But yeah, they needed to. That's just an example, Wijnaldum. And then a more recent one, obviously, I mention it like every week. Mane, you've got rid of Mane, who was the best player in that team, and I always thought that.
Would you rather get rid of Salah or Mane? Because I'd rather get rid of Salah.
Salah, he peaked. Everyone could see he peaked last season. He peaked. Not even. You can even argue that before that he peaked. He scored a lot last season, but you can argue that he's peaked before. It's done, and he doesn't contribute to the team. The only reason. A lot of the reason he scored a lot of his goals was because Mane's runs or Mane's assists. And Firmino as well. Even though I don't rate Firmino, but he helps Salah a lot. There's a lot going on. Now they've got Nunez, who they have to rely on. 80 million right
Diaz,
now. Yeah, Diaz. Yeah, Nunez I think is too young. I'm not going to judge him. Right now, so far, crap, right? But in a year, I might be eating my words. So you can't rely on this kid. And you can't rely on Diaz as well.
Here's the thing, though. Like, we look at players, for example, like Nunez. What is the possibility that a new coach comes in, for example, I don't know who, like whoever, I don't know, Jesse Marsh just got sacked or whatever his name is. He can come into Liverpool. What are the odds that a new manager comes in and you start seeing Nunes succeed? You start seeing him score goals because we've seen it before where players have had really poor form under certain managers. New managers come in, changed it up completely, and they start performing. Like I think that he's got all the quality, like he's got all the physical attributes. He's fast, he's strong, like he makes good runs. I think he's got all the attributes to be a good striker, but it's just is Klopp utilizing him in the way that he needs to be utilized?
Mm.
Yeah, think about it like that.
Yeah.
I think it's time for Klopp to go. Honestly, I think he's done.
Yeah. I kind of
Oh,
see that.
what position are they? 10th or 8th, 9th?
That
What?
they I think they're 10th and Chelsea are 9th.
That is crazy. That
It's
is literally
But the thing is,
crazy.
they're not gonna sack
What?
Klopp, even if it's new owners. They're not gonna sack him. Klopp's gonna have to walk. Like this is their most successful manager in 30 plus years. They
Yeah.
can't sack him. Like it will be crazy if they do, but I don't see it happening. He might walk end of the season, maybe. Especially if new owners come in. Maybe the new owners will sit him down and be like, "Listen, we don't want to sack you. You can have an amicable like ending to this."
Yeah.
But
It's like leave on your own terms type of thing.
yeah, exactly. But I'm happy with this downfall. It's getting boring though. Like I thought I'd enjoy it more, but it's just normal. Like I don't know.
Well, it means I know that it means that they're not going to beat Newcastle the next part of the season when we play them again. I know that's not going to happen.
Okay.
This guy pulling faces. You know for a fact they're not going to beat us.
No, I know. I just it'd be funny if they beat you though.
No, we're not. We're not. I don't think we. I don't think we can lose to anyone besides, maybe City.
I think we beat you.
Not at home.
Nah, we'll probably draw. Draw Castle United. We'll probably draw with you. You got what 10 draws this season?
Ridiculous. Like, so many draws. Like, it just comes from like having like. It's not like we don't have the chances either. Like, for example, we'll move on to the Newcastle game, 1-1 against West Ham at home. Like, yeah, we don't concede a lot of goals, but also like. Right, so we've scored more goals than Manchester United this season, I think. Do not quote me on that. I'm
No,
pretty
you did.
sure.
You did. You have. Yeah.
So it's not like we also don't score, but it's like we're just lacking like something. I don't.
Wait,
I don't.
same amount of goals. But yeah, continue.
Same amount. Well, now probably the same amount of goals. Yeah, but before we were ahead of you, and yeah, like Callum Wilson had a great chance 1-on-1, and just like the most last ditch incredible tackle from West Ham centre back. I don't know who it was, but it was really good. Just that 1-on-1 could have literally won the game for us. The first goal, well, we had a disallowed goal in the first minute, in the first seconds, and you know, on another day it probably gets given. I don't know. It's the angle. It's basically the ball goes out into in the touch, but like they don't have. They need to start having cameras on the sidelines to show exactly where the ball is, because like there's no way they can tell if that's truly out or not. Like they're from a side angle looking down at the ball, seeing if it's out. Like it's not going to happen. It's exactly like the Germany game.
Yeah,
Was it Germany?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happened with Liverpool as well against Wolves when it was, we don't know if it's offside because we don't have a camera on the side of the pitch. And I was like,
mate, that's mental. I couldn't believe that.
no, I know. They need to add the cameras so you can see, like goal line technology, but for that.
It's not like these stadiums don't have the capacity for it. Like Newcastle, 55,000 seat stadium, Liverpool, Anfield, just as big, if not bigger. Like all the top clubs have the ability to implement these cameras and implement all the other technology needed. But yeah, then we conceded to Paqueta, previous interest of ours, previous interest signing that we wanted to get last summer, and yeah, it was just like the ball came into the box, ricocheted off one of our players' heads. It wasn't a good clearance. Came to Paqueta's feet. He shoots. It goes through Pope's legs. That's our clean sheet in the first half gone. Like we had, like I think it was ever since Newcastle conceded in literal seasons, like the weather seasons, not like the actual
Mhm.
seasons in football. Ronaldo was scoring 3 at United. He'd already left. God damn, that's it. Like so much had happened since we conceded in the first half, and then obviously now that that's broken. But yeah, it dropped points, especially when City dropped points, Arsenal dropped points. It was a good time for us to get a leg up, but wasn't to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. You had to go with me earlier this week for not watching Newcastle games, so I watched the
Yeah,
majority.
because you don't, and
I
neither
I,
does
w- I watched the
neither
majority. I watched the majority
neither
of
does
this
the
one.
other idiot host on this show. You don't watch,
I watched this week. I watched this week, and
which is
I
fair.
cursed the team. I cursed the team, and you just
Yes, good
and
stuff.
they conceded and disallowed goal and everything. But it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. Like I don't think it was a bad Newcastle performance. I think it was more West Ham. You're gonna find this happens a lot. Small teams are gonna come to your stadium and play better than they usually are. West Ham was 16th. They shouldn't. They're
Yeah,
not that good, but because
they'll
they
go
see
far.
Newcastle as a big team, they'll perform. They
Yeah,
will, and because not only that, St James's Park it's a stage. It's what everyone says. It's one of the best grounds to visit in the stadium, like players and managers. One of the best in the country. So it's just people will just turn on. Goalkeepers will be better, strikers and midfielders will be more clinical, defenders will
yeah.
be diving in. It will happen because it's been happening at Old Trafford, even when we were bad, just because of the stadium. Like everyone dreams of playing at Old Trafford and scoring. So
Yeah.
it happens, and it will. It's already happening at St James's Park, but you didn't lose, which is good.
No, again, it's another point on the board for us, but we are becoming a little bit like Draw Castle United. But I don't respect the people who say we just sit back and park the bus because that's
No, no, no,
that's
no.
not what happens. Like our right back has the most chances put into the box in the whole league. So like he doesn't sit back like a Burnley right back would do and just stay there the whole game.
Mm,
Like Trippier gets forward. Him and Almiron link up so well, but like Trippier gets forward. Um, Dan Burn gets forward. Like he's now like an attacking left back. He's basically a wing back. Um, yeah, we just there's something missing. And obviously Bruno was a big factor. The fact we didn't have him. Honestly, if we have Bruno in the game, it could have been very different. But Anthony Gordon came on, and he was the one that played the ball through to Wilson for that one-on-one chance that was missed, and it was a very good ball through. So overall, I was actually at work when this game was going on, so I had to catch up afterwards. But yeah, besides that, not too unhappy with it. Just it's a shame we couldn't capitalize on the opportunity that was in front of us.
yeah, it's gonna be close now. Now, I mean, even before, but now more than ever, every game counts. You need to win. Tottenham are breathing on your necks, literally, but they've played one more game.
Yeah,
Um, but you've only lost one game, so it's a good ability to have where you're hard to beat. Now it's the next step of how do we win.
yeah.
Where's Isaac? Is he injured still?
He had a concussion.
You honestly,
Yeah.
you need a striker that you
Some
can
people
rely
are
on.
just not built. Some people are built flimsy, man. There's no other way to describe it. Him and Callum Wilson are built with sand. They crumble
Oh
at the
no,
nearest.
I feel that. I feel that with Martial. It's annoying when you can't stay fit, but they're good. But
Exactly.
it'll make the difference. But I still back Newcastle to come
I
top
back
four.
Newcastle to get top four. Like
I still I st-
no.
I'm less
This,
certain than I was last week, but I still think you will.
I mean, like I'm 100% sure we're getting top four because I know City are going to get deducted points.
Ooh, but we'll see. We'll see with that. Arsenal dropped points as well, though. Arsenal.
Yeah,
This is why I think it's their year. They dropped points, and so did City. They decided not to play either. It's
yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Sure.
Everton with Sean Dyche. He's gonna keep Everton up now. Sean Dyche.
Yeah. Bro, he's like, who do you bring in to stop a team from getting relegated? A guy that has been sitting in relegation for so long with loads of different teams, like mainly Burnley. So like, Dyche ball all the way, long ball it all the way up to the top. A big guy heading it in. That's all that you need to survive relegation. I
Yeah,
can't believe it. Arsenal. I actually can't believe it happened. Like of all teams that I thought were gonna break that like streak they had going on. I thought, no, there's no way. It's probably I thought it would be Newcastle, but then we couldn't beat them at Emirates. I thought Man United have a pretty good chance because they've already beaten them once this season. Again, couldn't beat them. So I can't believe it. Fair play to Sean Dyche though. Like he came in and he's done the job like straight away. He's beaten the team that like the best team in England, pretty much.
Yeah, it's the new manager bounce, and I think even if he has like 1 or 2 months of good form now, that keeps them up because like the teams around them, I don't think are good. Like Southampton, I think are finally gonna go down. Bournemouth will go down.
Leeds, now they've just lost their manager.
Yeah, Leeds will go down. They just signed McKennie from Juventus. If they go down, I think he'll move some. I see him go Newcastle or something stupid like that. He just will.
Possibly.
But yeah. So that's all the results. Now we can move on to what we've been waiting for. I don't know why I waited so long. City today.
Hold on. Sorry, on the phone.
Okay.
Oh, you're screwed. Oh, he's off. He's off the phone. All right. What happened, Josh? Give us the breakdown.
There've been some breaches of Premier League rules from a certain club in Manchester, and it's not the one on the shirt that I'm wearing. No, it's the fake club over there.
How many breaches, Josh? How many breaches?
Not 50, not 60, not 70. No, it's 100 breaches.
Since 2009, 100 breaches in the Premier League financial fair play rules. Are you stupid? This is crazy to me.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the biggest investigation that... I mean, obviously, so City were fined 30 million by UEFA financial fair play, right? And they're banned from UEFA competitions. But because of financial fair play, the UEFA financial fair play, they have a time limit as to which they can be charged. So if something happened too long ago, they can't be charged with it. But in the Premier League, there's no time limit or time restrictions on charges. So they've gone all the way back to 2009. This has gone on for 4 years, by the way. This investigation has lasted 4 years, all the way back to 2009. And there's been 100 breaches in financial fair play. And in that time, City have won the Premier League 3 times, right?
More than that. They've won it like what, 5
times?
No,
because it's from 2009 to 2018.
That's 4.
I'm sure it's 3.
It's 4. But... 11, 12, 13, 14, and then it is 3. Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot of what are they doing?
Yeah.
Are they smuggling children? What did they do?
The thing is, the investigation, they're also investigating these last few years, but these charges are just for that period you just said. Now, there were things such as they weren't giving... So, another thing is they weren't being cooperative with the investigation for a certain amount of time. So, like, they failed to provide the Premier League with details on how much Roberto Mancini was getting paid. Now, this was 2010, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
All the way back then. They were failing to say where the money came from. Now, with the money, they were saying that a lot of the money was coming from advertising from Abu Dhabi, from a company in Abu Dhabi or like a fund in Abu Dhabi. But the owners of the club is the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, the Sheikh's son, right, from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to just go like, yeah, that's a company, and like the money is not legitimate. It's very similar to what Barcelona did with when they came up with this whole sponsor for their TV rights, and it turns out it was just their money. You're not allowed to do that. You're lying about how much you're making. We should have known that this was coming. I mean, we all kind of saw it coming.
Honestly, everyone's been saying for a while, when are they going to get pulled up for the financial fair play stuff? Because there's no way that spending that much money is legal.
Exactly.
And Man City don't even fill their stadium. Never mind, making all this money from brand deals and sponsor deals and T-shirt sales and all that stuff. Like this, there's no way.
No, and they were reporting revenues higher than Real Madrid and Man United. At that point, you're like, what? There's no way.
It's not real, is it?
No,
it's fake.
Exactly. So these are the things, right? If you're failing to tell the higher authorities where your money is coming from. Such
Yeah.
a simple thing. You're done for. Now, there's a lot of other things, obviously. These are just a few things I heard. But now they could get sanctioned. Now, obviously, the worst one is expulsion from the league, which I think would be quite funny, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't. I think they're too. Like honestly, I think that's too. They're too big for that to happen. They
No,
are. No, I just don't. When was the last time a club got expelled from the Premier League?
I don't remember a team ever getting expelled from the
No,
Premier League.
I know it happened to Saracens in the Gallagher Premier League in rugby. Was it Saracens? It might have been Saracens, but they went to the league below, or they were docked so many points it put them into relegation, and then they went down, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So, because it was money issues again. So I don't know. I don't know what happens to them. If it's my choice, I deduct them like 30 points. In my opinion, I think after all these, it's over 10 years. Well, now it'll be over like 13 years. So, like, what's a fair reason for cheating for that long? What's a fair punishment to give a club? And obviously, there's going to be research done into what they've been doing in the more recent years. But Liverpool had a really, really great squad, and possibly denied titles because of cheating through Manchester City from building a super squad.
mm.
So,
Yep. And also, the reason why they haven't had anything in the last 4 years, I've just read now, is they haven't been cooperating. They haven't been from 2018 to now. They've been charged with that. That's why they've only got all the breaches from 2009 2018.
do you know what it is? I saw their statement today, and it was like, we are surprised to be hearing about these allegations after all of the evidence that we've provided to show our innocence. And I was like, no way, whatever, sure, get in the bin. Like, it just sounds so fake, doesn't it? Like, we are surprised. Like, no, you're not. Like, you've known this has been coming for a while. Um, and it's gonna be straight. It's gonna be interesting how they deal with it for sure.
Yeah, I think this might last a while though. Like I don't even know if they're gonna get charged this season. I think it might be next season. Like there's so much more. Like there's 4 or 5 years now they have to do. There's
But
a lot more.
there's urgency involved in
I hope so. I really hope
before
so.
the Premier League season ends because they can't take that away from a Premier League team like, for example, Arsenal. Hypothetically, Arsenal keep at the rate they're going at. Let's say, you know, City get docked points and Manchester and Newcastle stay in a position that they are in. But like, do you give Arsenal that like? Oh, sorry. Let me say, City actually do performing better. City overtake Arsenal, but then obviously it comes out that they need a points deduction. Like, what you're taking that away from Arsenal, like the chance to celebrate winning a Premier League title. Like, I think it's better that if they do it before the season ends to decide their punishment. In my opinion, it makes more sense. But if they've got more to like work on, like the next 4 years after 2018, then how much can you get in that time?
Yeah, that's the issue as well. I mean, if you're lying about profitability and you're breaking financial fair play, you've got to get punished. I hope it gets done soon. Like just like you, I
Yeah,
hope they do it in the next few weeks or months maybe.
and just they can't relegate them. Like they can't send them down to the
They
championship.
could. They've
No, but I
for,
mean like they'd have to wait until next
yeah.
season.
I mean, the worst
Like,
we've seen in the league that I remember is Portsmouth like 10, 15 years ago. They deducted points from them and they got relegated but that's because they didn't have enough money. But they were still lying about how much money they had.
right.
So,
Yeah, it works both ways. Having too much money, having not enough money.
yeah. But I mean, both ways you're lying about how much or where your money comes from. So I think they could get a point. Can you imagine? They get like a 30 point deduction.
I think that's fair. I think 30 points is fair.
I don't know. I think honestly, the fact they got away with that the European football ban, we should have all seen this coming. But like the thing is, it got overturned, so I was like, corrupt. Like it's done. They're never gonna get caught. But now, what have the Premier League got to lose? I think. Oh, I hope they get what's coming. Pep leaves, Haaland leaves, everyone leaves. City just become crap.
I was getting City get deducted 30 points. They finished like I don't know, like 17th or something like that. And like Pep goes, Haaland goes to like Bayern or something like that, and then you just start seeing all of the big players who obviously love the club so much start to leave. The fan base starts to drop. Can you imagine how this could be so big for Man City? This could be the start of their downfall, realistically.
No, it's true. It honestly it could be. I just really really hope that it's fairly done and it's
Yeah,
not biased or anything
and
because
you never know, man. You never know,
they'll see.
especially
It's
with
it's it's gonna go to an independent I can't remember what it's
organisation.
called. Yeah, they're gonna do the investigation, so there's no bias. It's not the Premier League. It's not City, and then it could go.
Anyone can be paid off, though, is what I will say.
Yep,
Anyone can be paid off. So
I
I want to
know.
see the result, and I want to see if it's fair. If it's not fair, if it's a fine and that's it, I'll be raging.
Yeah, it could go to the court of arbitration for sport, and when they make a ruling, you cannot appeal it. So that's the
Well,
thing.
they appealed it for the UEFA one.
The UEFA one, UEFA sanctioned them. They appealed it. They went
Oh,
to
and
the
they
court.
appealed to the
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we'll see. I mean, right now it's quite funny because I don't know. City are finally being caught for what we all saw for so long. I don't know why the Premier League took so long to pick up on all of this, but at
Yeah.
least they've finally been caught. Now another
It's
club, huh?
no, but it's a bit risky though, isn't it? Because we know teams that have sorry, we know teams that have Saudi money. Okay,
Oh yeah,
let's not forget teams that have Saudi money, and I just don't want this to happen to Newcastle. I think that it obviously anything can happen. Obviously, Manchester United have sponsorship deals in Saudi Arabia. Um, Chelsea have dodgy money with how much they've been spending recently. Like I've been saying, there's no way they don't break financial fair play with how much they've been spending. Chelsea don't make any money. Like, what money have they made? They got a racist fan base. Charlie, your club's racist.
Charlie
Okay,
is meant to come on today to fight his case, but I don't care. Yeah, I agree.
it's just scary, isn't it? Like, it's scary how much shady.
No, it needs to be monitored. And the thing is with Newcastle is now you're seeing that's what not to do. Now
Yeah,
that's something Newcastle haven't spent crazy. They haven't got this big shiny manager because Mancini was at the time. So you have to pay him a lot. You've got Eddie Howe on a long-term contract. You've signed players who aren't crazy and like you're not buying like for example how Chelsea are doing right now. It
yeah.
looks fine. It's just the clubs release their financial reports at the end of the year. When Newcastle released theirs, I'm gonna read it. I just want to see where they say the money's coming from. But right now, it doesn't look like anything dodgy's going on. Like nothing.
No, I don't think so. And also, there'll be a lot of interest in fan base, a new fan base coming to Newcastle, and I'm sure that ticket sales. I mean, we max out our stadium every week, so that's not a problem. Shirt sales probably higher than ever. So obviously, they're probably going to get a new brand deal. They're going to get a sponsorship with Adidas or Nike probably next season. Like it won't be who is it?
Castor,
Ore or whatever.
Castore.
Yeah, it won't be them anymore. Let's be honest. So they got big plans, and they want to. I think they want to expand St James's Park as well. So they're going to spend a lot of money. It's just like, where is the money going to come from? I'm just scared that I don't want to end up like City. To be
Yeah,
honest.
no, it's up to the owners. If you're responsible enough and you're just being honest with your money, it's the thing is I don't think they're gonna. They don't seem like the type to just pull the trigger because you could have. Clearly,
Yeah.
Chelsea are doing it right now. 323 million pounds in January.
In
300,
January as well.
323 pounds million pounds. It's the loophole they
That's
found.
more than Newcastle have spent over 3 transfer windows.
Exactly. It's because they found this loophole. Have you realized all the players? I think I said it last week. They give the players 10-year contracts.
Yeah,
So if they buy them for like 80 mil, they'll pay the club 8 million a year.
yeah, over 10 years.
So that's how they get past it. But then when does that stop? Because you'll reach a point where like you go into a summer transfer window and 50 million's already being paid out. So
Yeah,
I don't know. They banned it now. They've
yeah.
banned it now. Like you can't do that anymore. They let Chelsea do it, and now they've stopped it.
Right. Okay. Suppose it's to save it from happening again, but also Like it's already happened now.
Yeah.
They've already found it's not against the rules because it's a loophole. If you find a loophole, it gets either it becomes canon or it gets fixed. So it's been fixed now, so the other teams don't do it. But now Chelsea are in a situation where they've bought all these players. It can seriously financially over transfer windows now. They like you said, it's going to be 50 million out the bank. Like another 10, 20 million for another certain player. Like, where does it end? And that's just money wasted. Like, that's money that now you don't have.
Yeah, like all they need is for just a few of these signings to just not work out, and then
Yeah.
they try to sell them, and they're like,
Doesn't
yeah,
work out.
and
Boom.
then they're like, oh, I don't want to leave. Like you can try to sell them, and they just will be like, I don't want to
What
leave.
about release clauses? Or, I mean, like,
That's the thing. What we don't know about release clauses for these players
yeah,
that I know at least. And what if they're like, okay, I just want to stay here, and they can stay there for like 6, 7 years on the bench, and you've got to pay
unless
their
a team buys out a release clause.
you've got to pay their
Yeah,
wages, and you've got to do
just sit there. He
yeah.
doesn't even have to show up to training.
It's
Just,
it's done.
yeah.
This is the issue. Now, it's not good. Even Charlie told me he doesn't like what's being done, but if it works, it works. But I
Yeah.
don't. It's stupid in my opinion.
I'm assuming that's how most City fans. I do feel a little bit bad for City fans because I mean everyone knows what's going on, and obviously I don't think anybody wants to. If it if it was my choice, right, I would just have like obviously it's great to have Saudi money, right, be able to buy whoever you want. It's great, right, but if we could make it fair for everybody and have more focus on like youth development and have players from this city or whatever. Like, imagine that, like players actually from this city, Sean Longstaffs and the Dan Burns of the world playing for Newcastle. That would be great, but that's not the world we live in. We live in a world where you just buy the most expensive Brazilian player on the market, and that's sort of how football's going. So it's a shame that fans like City fans, like the true City fans, not just the glory supporters, but true City fans have to see their club sort of tarnished like this. But that's just how it's ran, and like it's a shame, like they can't do anything
I
about it.
mean,
So
yeah, they can't be too bitter towards the owners as well, because before this they were mid-table at best club.
yeah,
So they've brought
and
them
they've
success.
been relegated multiple times before.
Exact. They were tiny. They were like I don't know who you compare them to.
Little
Fulham,
City,
maybe. Yeah,
little City.
little city. They're nothing. Like I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope they get punished. But there's two clubs that we need to talk about now. Just a little preview. Just a little preview. We will do a full special episode on this. But this Manchester United, a club in Manchester that doesn't violate financial fair play rules, and Newcastle United, the two Uniteds,
The two best Uniteds. Let's be honest.
the only two Uniteds are now facing off in the Carabao Cup final on the 26th of February. It's it's massive. It's massive. Now, bit of background. Me and Ben have been friends for like what 10, coming on to 10 years now. This is it. This is all we wanted. This is it. A cup final where our two teams are playing against each other.
No, listen, years and years and years of hardship has come to this. It's going to come to fruition on February the 26th. I finally get to see the club I love the most play against the club I hate the most. And if Manchester United win, then fair play. They will, I'm happy to see United win it over City or Arsenal. I'm much happier to see them win it. But if Newcastle win, I will come onto this podcast and I will be the most ignorant, arrogant, disrespectful, unpleasant human to be around because I will literally gloat so much after my whole lifetime of supporting Newcastle, never won anything. The earliest that I can remember is the 2013 or 2012 season where we got fifth and we made it to the Europa League. And that's it. That's the best that we've ever done. We made it to a semi-final like once. The last time we made it to a final was like 30 years ago, like when Gaza Paul Gascoigne was still playing for us.
Nah, you made the final in '99.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say 24 years ago.
Yeah, Shearer led you out.
Yeah,
But who was
that's a
that?
long
Who was
time.
that against?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
It's
See, this is what it is. Newcastle have robbed children. No, sorry, Manchester United. No, listen, hold on. You can clip this, okay? Manchester United have robbed the dreams of kids in Newcastle
yes,
centuries now.
yes.
Centuries. And it's time to finally. This is the best opportunity we're going to get before all the Saudi money floods in. This will be a monumental occasion for Newcastle fans and Manchester United fans, because this is the rivalry that like Newcastle fans want to see. Nobody wanted to see Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. Or at least I definitely didn't.
Yeah.
So like I said, I get to see the team I hate most after robbing us of Premier League titles, after robbing us of FA Cup victories, everything. They've robbed us of all. It's finally gonna get sorted out on the 26th of February. I can't wait. I'm not gonna go. I'm probably gonna go to one of the fan zones to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try find something like that, but it's from what I see, this means a lot more to Newcastle fans. Obviously, I think it's important to United because it's like our first trophy of the Ten Hag era. But if you go up to any United fan right now, it's like if you throw away this final, you can win the FA Cup or the Europa League. We'll do it. I'll do it. Like it's
Yeah.
this
It's,
is
let's be honest. It's the smallest cup you can win
yes, but
with
that's
the flight team.
I'm just hoping the players don't think the same way as the fans. And I don't think Ten Hag will let them. But if you go
Yeah.
just from a fan perspective, it means more to Newcastle. Now, that could be the difference in the final of it finishing 2-1 to us or 2-1 to you guys. It's just the fans pushing the ball over the line. It can happen.
Yeah.
I care a lot about this final. I just want to beat you. If you're going to be like, I'm going to come. I said I was going to be respectful. I take it back. I take everything. I'm coming on here.
He texted me. I was like, we posted on our Instagram stories, basically atting each other, being like, "All right, the time has come. We're finally in a final together." And then he messaged me, and I basically was gloating. I was telling him we were going to beat him, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm nice. I'm going to be a nice guy." No, he's not, guys. When I was 15, or 16, and we watched Manchester United versus Newcastle at his house, he got up and he celebrated like this in my face.
We won in the 90th minute, of course.
I never forgot that. To this day. Some people know, okay? The people who know. I never forget anything. Except if it's anything like educational, that's gone. But I never forget a single thing.
I mean,
will remember...
maybe after a few drinks. But look, if United beat Newcastle, I will be very happy because we beat you and it's a trophy. But I do value the other trophies more. This is the issue, but I do think we beat you. I do. Right now, Casemiro's out for 3 games. I didn't even talk about the United game. We won without Casemiro. We struggled to win 2-1. Casemiro got sent off for strangling Will Hughes. Great, right? It was funny though. It was really funny, but it was like, is he suspended? Yeah,
like that.
we missed it, but now as soon as it happened, we're like, oh, well, the next 3 games. I got my phone out. I was like, okay, we have 3 league games and then Newcastle, fine. And he's playing against Barcelona. We got Leeds back to back at home and then away, and then Leicester at home. So it's not bad.
You don't have Barcelona before us?
We do. This is the thing. So I was gonna say Casemiro will have some game time. He'll be playing Barcelona. We got Barcelona next week, and then we have Barcelona the week after, which is 3 days before the final. We're playing Barcelona. This is the thing. We were talking. You've got a week to prepare for that final.
Yeah.
We've got to. We're going to be fighting in that second leg because the first leg's in Spain, so we probably draw.
So the traveling as well, the jet lag, it can all come into play.
Yeah. So the second leg we're going to be fighting at Old Trafford. It's not like the first leg's at Old Trafford. We can try get it done and dusted, and then we go there and play for a draw. It's the other way around. So we'll be fighting 2 finals basically in 3 days. Is what we've.
And also, how does Ten Hag play it? Because how quickly are the games? How far away are the games apart from each other?
So this Thursday, and then the finals on Sunday. So that's 3 days. Yeah, 3 days.
The game.
23rd.
No. I mean, how far away from the legs, like the away leg and the
Oh yeah,
home
so
leg?
the away leg's on the 16th, and then the home leg's on the 23rd, and then the finals on the 26th,
About just
and there's
about a
the
week.
Premier League game on the 19th. So
So you got a week. So well, you've got 3 days. A game every 3 days for
we
a
pretty
week
much
and a half.
that's pretty much what we do now. Yeah, I mean we just played on Saturday. We got a game this Wednesday. We got a game.
How does Ten Hag play that? Really? Because
This is the
you
issue.
really run Casemiro and Rashford getting injured if you play them for all 4 of those games.
Yeah, this is the thing. Ericsson is injured now. I mean, not through fitness, through Andy Carroll being a bum, right? But he still got injured.
He bleeds black and white, Andy
I
Carroll.
hate
He
Andy. I
bleeds
hate
black
him
and white.
now. But this is the issue, right? We rotate a bit sometimes, but like against Forest, we were drawing 0-0 with our rotated scheme, and then we had to bring on Rashford and Martial, and then we won. But we need to rotate a bit more. I feel. I think if we win this Leeds game, if we're playing them at home on Wednesday, if we get 2 goals in the first half, rotate the whole team, please. We have to
Yeah.
at any possible opportunity bring on Garnacho because he's not bad. Bring on Martial's injured again. He came on for 20 minutes and he's injured again. I don't know. Weghorst, just play Weghorst.
Play Weghorst on the wing.
There's nothing on it. Sancho's back. So him and
Yeah.
Anthony can rotate.
Yeah.
Fernandez plays every game. I'm not worried about him.
Fernandez is a scrawny little rat.
He is. He's
Big
alright.
Joelinton's foot is going to go through his head.
Casemiro versus Joelinton. I can't wait. In the final, I can't wait for that. They're gonna be swearing at each other in Brazilian. It's gonna be hilarious.
Bro, oh my, bro, you've got, I can't even, like, some people just won't understand. If you supported a big club, you're always a big club. You support this, like, Newcastle aren't a small club, right? But we are meant for more than what we've had, you know. Under Mike Ashley, we had just misery after not buying, after buying like second division players from France like every year. It's like we deserved more than that, you know, especially from our past in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like we deserved more than that, and now like it's finally coming for us. When we beat Southampton at home just to put us in the finals, I cried, and I don't cry often, but that time I genuinely cried just because it felt like we're finally getting what we deserved, you know, what we deserve, and it's just like I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I want to see.
It's
I
gonna
want
be
to see
really good.
controversy. I want to see. I want to see red cards. I want to see fights. I want to see
Yeah.
long shots. I want to see everything.
We'll do a more detailed preview video, just like standalone Carabao Cup final preview before the game.
And that rat, not rat, your co-host. I don't want him there.
Unreal.
He's not allowed to be there because he's going to wind me up. He's going to do my head in. Okay.
He's gonna want to be there. It's gonna be funny.
I'd rather Zaid be there.
Nah, true. We'll sort it out, but there will be a preview video, and we'll release it like a couple days before the final.
No,
but
you
we haven't got
don't.
Ericsson as well, so Sabitzer needs to show up. If not, we are gonna have to play Fred or McTominay. And
Here's the thing, like Fred is bad. So Fred and McTominay. Imagine, bro, like obviously Isaac is injured right now. Obviously Eddie Howe has to think about how injuries can affect the upcoming games, not like the games he has next, like the games in late February, right? Do we save Isaac for, you know, for the final, or, you know, possibly keep him on the bench? Do we keep Gordon uninjured, or do we play Gordon and save, you know, save, I don't know, Bruno, or what do you do? Because you compromise your league position as well if you do that.
Yeah,
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting how tactically both managers prepare for the final.
yeah,
Because I don't think it means as obviously I think we both agree it doesn't mean as much to United as it does for Newcastle. This is like the first proper silverware in 20 years, 30 years, 25 years. So, well, it would be our first like actual trophy since 1969. That was before my dad was born. So, like, how does Ten Hag look at it? Does he look at, well, we'd rather win the FA Cup, we'd rather win the Premier League? Like,
Nah, he'd go full. He's gone full strength every single. That Forest game was probably the first one where we didn't play our full strength team, but against Burnley,
what
I
was
remember. I went to the Burnley game in December and we were playing Rashford and Anthony. We were starting a strong team. He wants to win this trophy because at the end of the day, this is his era. This could kickstart everything if we just get a bit of self-aware. But we'll wait and see. We will go into a tactical preview closer to. But
Yeah.
I think that's everything. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else that I'd like to talk about? Napoli sort of running away. at the
Napoli
moment.
running. Oh, just AC Milan. Ha ha.
That's so fun. I mean, he did say it would happen. Right.
He did. You know, he got
did
it right. He
that
got it right.
correctly.
They lost to
Yeah.
Inter yesterday. It's
He predicted it correctly.
they're just falling and falling. Now they're sixth.
Whoa.
That's the conference
No.
place, Europa Conference. Unreal.
He'll be playing with Burnley. if Burnley, imagine that, AC Milan versus Burnley.
Unreal.
Who's Burnley's manager?
Vincent Company.
Oh yeah.
They're top of the championship by like 10 points. They're doing well. They're
Yeah.
possession based now. They play tiki taka.
Who's
Yeah.
sixth in the Premier League?
Burnley's in the championship. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Burnley. I'm thinking about somebody else. Brighton.
Brighton and Brentford. Brighton,
Another
I
beast.
guess, yeah, Brighton and Brentford are up there. And Fulham,
Yeah.
they're all above Chelsea and Liverpool.
Mudded. Absolutely mudded. That proves to me that money can't buy you a title. That proves.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell with Chelsea signings, but it's just a lot of
Yeah, I
like
suppose
career
they're
mode
ready
signings.
ready
I don't
to
know what's
stay.
going on. But
Yeah.
top four is wide open. Title race still on. We'll see what happens. But Carabao Cup final. I'm ready
Leave
for
the
it.
predictions. Send us direct messages so we can argue. Okay,
Yeah.
if you think that Newcastle are going to win, if you're a sane human and you think that Newcastle are going to win, if you're a moron and you think that Manchester United are going to win,
Right.
message this prick
Right.
next to me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice one. Nice. Thanks for coming on. All right.
So, always here.
Yeah. Always ready. It's always ready. But I
Always ready
appreciate
to fill in.
you. What?
Always ready to fill in.
Yeah,
when you need
I appreciate
when
that.
you need some good ball knowledge.
I appreciate that. You know, maybe one of these weeks, if we're lucky, both you and Hussein can come on again. But then I think someone will leave the call.
Maybe.
But thanks for coming again. Thanks for listening, guys, and watching. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Follow us on all the socials, and we'll see you in the next one in a bit.